If you're thinking you want to live in Pacific Beach, but are not sure you want to live in Pacific Beach, you might be looking for Pacifica. This is the next stop in my PB neighborhood series, and it's just as distinct as the other stops. Pacifica sits in the northeast corner of Pacific Beach, climbing up the lower slopes of Mount Soledad along Soledad Mountain Road. That road is really the whole story here. Soledad Mountain Road is the line that separates Pacifica from the flatter, busier core of Pacific Beach, as well as the hills of North PB. On one side, you've got Garnet Avenue, the beach, the crowds, the classic PB energy. On the other side, up the hill, you've got Pacifica. Quieter, more removed, and a little bit of that La Jolla vibe mixed into PB. I want to be upfront about the trade-off because there is one. Pacifica is one of the least walkable pockets of Pacific Beach. You're not steps from the boardwalk up here, but what you give up in walkability, you gain in elevation. Because Pacifica sits up on that hillside, the views are some of the best in all of Pacific Beach. Ocean views, Mission Bay views, downtown San Diego skyline views, sometimes all three from the same living room window. That's the payoff for climbing up the hill. And for buyers who love architecture, Pacifica is an often overlooked gem. Pacifica is home to one of San Diego's most significant pockets of mid-century modern homes. Back in the early 60s, local builder Leonard Drogin brought in Palmer Krisel to design this tract. If that firm's name sounds familiar to you, it's because William Krisel and Dan Palmer are the architects behind the iconic Alexander homes in Palm Springs and the butterfly-roofed post and beam houses people fly in just to photograph. Krisel brought that same post and beam indoor-outdoor design aesthetic and philosophy to Pacifica, but dialed it back a little bit for the San Diego buyer. So instead of dramatic angles you see in the desert, Pacifica homes lean more understated. The bones are the same: open floor plans, walls of glass, and seamless connection between indoor-outdoor living that they're known for. These homes have quietly become some of the most sought after in Pacific Beach for buyers who care about architecture and design. So put it all together, and that's Pacifica. Hillside elevation, some of the best views in Pacific Beach, a slower pace than the core of PB, and a real architectural pedigree. If you watched my videos on Kate Sessions and Los Altos Loop or Crown Point, you know the theme of this series. Pacific Beach is not just one neighborhood. Kate Sessions and Los Altos gave you elevation and privacy, Crown Point gave you the bayfront, and Pacifica gives you the views, the quiet, and the architecture, with a walk up the hill to get there. If you're thinking about buying in Pacific Beach, this is exactly the kind of detail that should factor into where you land. Because a few hundred feet of elevation can change everything. Let me know in the comments, are you a Pacifica person, or do you need to be closer to the sand?